since y'all are on the floor, I felt like I needed to get on the floor with y'all too. As today is our Visioning Sunday. First of all, let me say, my name is Reverend Casey Taylor. I use they, them pronouns. Welcome to Spirit Uncuffed. And our leadership group, not specifically the council, but leadership from us, we met for a retreat and decided that we should do a Visioning Sunday, maybe quarterly, and this is our first one. I love that I would just let Spirit lead where it fell, and this is the one that felt right. And we've got a potluck going on after this, and so that'll give us an opportunity to share what came up for us through the visioning process. So let me give you a little rundown of what to expect over the course of the next hours. We're doing our Visioning Meditative Sunday. We had a sound bath by Markanna Wellness. Yes, we had a sound bath by Markanna Wellness. Next, we are going to affirm our vision and mission if it resonates. Then we're going to honor the 39 tribes, and Markanna will give us a little vibe to go along with that meditation process. Mary Lee is going to provide the uncuffed contemplation. We'll do a brief sound bath in between that uncuffed contemplation and the message, which is I want to know what love is for the theme today. Then we'll engage in our community visioning together, do some conscious giving, announcements of what to expect, things that we've got coming up, and then we'll close out with I want to know what love is. And I am Casey, and y'all are the Sunshine Band. I don't know how we're going to do with the sound on that. I was trying to get the speaker for the music to come out, so we'll see what happens when we get there. But it'll be what it is. All right, so this is the vision and mission that I invite you to speak with me if it resonates. We are a loving, inclusive community, joyfully expressing spirit. We honor, celebrate, and support each individual's awakening to their spiritual sovereignty. We empower each other to live happy, healthy, abundant lives. All right, and so let's get a little meditative vibe going on for the 39 tribes, and Mary Lee will come up whenever she's ready.
Higher, deeper love. We'll redefine love, re-examine our relationship with it, and evaluate our awareness, discovering it's far grander than we've allowed. Our journey begins with I want to know what love is, inviting us to see love beyond romance. We'll embrace discomfort and joy, recognizing every experience and ourselves as love. Next, I was made for loving you challenges us to see how our inner relationship with love impacts every connection. We'll question how actively we are showing up as love in the world right now. Our exploration expands with what's love got to do with it, as we consider our profound interconnectedness. We'll bring awareness to ancestral and historical wounds around love, to foster healing. Finally, love lifts us up where we belong, invites us to view the world's systems through the eyes of love, honoring its paradox of flaws and healing. This path with love calls us individually and collectively to embrace our inherent loving nature and listen with our hearts for our part to play. Today, I want to know what love is. And the reading I am taking is from June's Guides to the magazine from the Centers for Spiritual Living. The guides for this month have been written by CSL's spiritual leader, Reverend Dr. Sonny Cantrell Smith. This is what she has to say. Pardon me, I'm organizing my pages here. Love calls us to authentic expression. Love calls us to express our authentic selves. All too often, fear, comparison, or self-doubt holds us back from speaking and creating what matters most. But love dissolves self-judgment and opens the channel for genuine expression. When we let love be the source of our voice and actions, life becomes a vessel for divine communication. Today, listen inwardly to what wants to be spoken or created in your life. Perhaps it is a word of encouragement for someone, a creative project growing quietly in your soul, or a simple act of sharing with another that brings you joy. Love invites rather than pushing or forcing. When we allow our voice to rise from love, our words resonate with truth and connect hearts. This expression nurtures not only our own fulfillment, but the fulfillment of those who receive it. It reminds us that our unique perspective matters, that our gifts are not random but purposeful, given to us to bless the world in our own rhythm. Let love inspire your expression today. Let your words be clear, warm, and true. By sharing a kind word, finishing a creative piece, or offering help, you reflect the divine spark within. Let each act of expression be an offering, a sacred thread woven into the tapestry of life. This will help everyone, ourselves and the world around us, know what love is. And now let me take that into prayer. God is the absolute reality and only intelligence, the one infinite beingness, wholeness, peace, joy, love, perfection, authenticity, creativity, life. As my mind is an individualization of God mind, I accept the fact that I am now thinking with the mind of God. The Spirit of God moves through me as my spirit of self-awareness, and also moves through everyone present here and online. God is right where everyone is as the perfect representation of the divine essence that they are. With the knowledge that everyone present here and online is one with God, surrounded by acceptance of the existence of all the gifts, joys, riches, and blessings of the universe, I now speak my word. I realize and completely accept that the creative law of Spirit is moving through everyone present and online to bring awareness to the divine, authentic expression of what love is that radiates through and as them everywhere. This is their spiritual truth. And I see awareness of the divine, authentic expression of what love is that radiates through and as them everywhere as being theirs right now. I feel and express my overflowing gratitude for knowing this truth for everyone present and online. And I release this treatment and my word into the infinite activity of the law, which always says yes, and is now done as I have declared, so deeply felt. And so it is.
It is.
Thanks, y'all. All right, thank you, Mary Lee. So we are exploring what is love, and we're doing this through chapter 6 for the month of June. So the theme, the heading for June the heading for chapter 6 is man's relationship with the spiritual universe. And we've updated that a little bit to human's relationship with the spiritual universe. And the way the question, I want to know what love is being addressed, is the concept of love as a mirror, recognizing that love is a mirror. You want to know what it is? There it is. It's in front of you. It's you are reflecting it. So in chapter 6, in The Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes says, the soul is the seat of memory, the mirror of mind in the individual. It is the creative power within us, creating from the patterns given it and from the memories it contains. This is the explanation about, I have the good mic too. The blue mic usually is, we're friends. Maybe move up a little bit. Maybe I'm being too close to the speaker. I think that might be it. All right, so this quote explains how love as a mirror works, that the soul is the seat of memory and the mirror of mind in the individual. I'm trying again. All right, here we go. It is the creative power within us, created from the patterns given us, so that the soul is the creative power. We've talked about this every week of how the soul and soil is a great explanation of it, that whatever we put into it, it is how our experience manifests itself. And so that is why love is a mirror, because life is a mirror. Love and life are synonymous. In the book Love School, Reverend Dr. Donnell Cole had his book signing here last week, and as I was reading the book, I'm still in the third quarter of the book. I came across this quote that Dr. Fix is the character that said this, of the Love School professor, and he says, let me try a little bit more. He says, many of us unconsciously cast roles for the sake of soul growth. Some people are lifetime partners, others just a season. But either way, the script keeps repeating until you learn your line. So the idea of that is that the relationships in our lives, what it means for love to be a mirror, means that we are unconsciously casting the roles of the people around us, whether we like it or not. And when we recognize that literally everything that occurs, that we're experiencing in our life, is not just a reflection of our unconscious, but also an invitation to learn what needs to be learned from this relationship, to recognize that in the ways that we may be triggered by our relationships, that these are gentle invitations to see what is ours to see, to remember that our lives are a reflection of our consciousness. So instead of looking out there, pointing our fingers over there, blaming whoever for whatever, that those 4 other fingers are pointed back at us, and we have this invitation to recognize that our experience is a reflection of our consciousness. But in chapter 6, Ernest Holmes also talks about how we are in this together. This is collective. So what is occurring in Oklahoma City is not specific to my consciousness alone. Yes, my life is my experience, but what is occurring in the city and what is occurring in the country, what is occurring across this planet is collective. And I'm grateful that when we speak to this concept of recognizing life as a mirror, it's not just our individual lives. Our lives, the country that we're a part of is reflective as well. I'm all decked out for Pride Month today, and I'm not going anywhere for Pride other than here. So I was like, this is just what it is. the Centers for Spiritual Living minister graduation is this evening, and one of my prayer partners and one of my mentees are graduating, and so I got to be there, and it's right in the middle of the parade. So that's where I'm gonna be, in front of my laptop, celebrating these two people graduating from ministerial school. And but this Pride Month in particular, something that I've been noticing in the public discourse about since June 1st of 2026, there's been this discussion about the backlash of Pride Month. This has been identified as Nuclear Family Month by some people. I'm trying to think, there's another Unborn Children Month, I think Governor Kevin Stitt called it. Do you remember?
Life.
What is it?
Life.
Is it Unborn Life?
No, it's just Life Month.
Life Month. Okay, Life Month. All right. So I saw a post from Governor Stitt. I don't follow him on though I do. I follow people who are different than me, but I don't follow a bunch of politicians on Facebook. I just don't. But somebody shared it, and I've been seeing how there's been this conversation about how 2026 specifically has had a backlash or a negative response to the presence, the existence of Pride Month. And there's been this reaction to that response with how there is more outrage towards this speaker. How there is more outrage towards Pride Month than there is towards the openly, the fact that the Epstein list revealed all of these pedophiles who are walking amongst us in positions of power, continue their positions of power, and all of that is a reflection of the entirety of our consciousness, the conversation that we're having, the fact that we're having this conversation, because Pride has been, the concept of LGBT plus Pride began in 1969 with Stonewall, and here we are in 2026. There are many people who are around it where the Pride movement didn't even exist. And so we're in this natural evolution of people recognizing their right to be who they are and to be themselves. And what that means is that people get to express their discomfort with people being who they are and being themselves. And this is a very important conversation we're having collectively, and a reflection of our race consciousness, of our collective consciousness. In Love School, Dr. Donnell Cole and Nehtep Nassert also wrote in this book, love isn't about guarantees. It's about alignment and service, not possession. And what really stuck with me is this concept of love as possession, where, again, culturally, socially, there is this expectation of what it means to be in a romantic relationship, is that it's two people. And lately, culturally, there has been this shift and expansion beyond what romantic relationships look like. Polyamory as a concept is becoming more normalized in 2026 than it's ever been in this country. And so I think it's just interesting how, this book in particular talks about love being alignment and service, not possession. And recognizing that it's up to those people in that relationship, of how many people are in the relationship, of what their boundaries consist of, and recognizing that with love being a mirror, that the people that we are aligned with are the people that we identify who we want to set boundaries with and what those boundaries look like. It's about alignment and service to one another. That's what Love School says love is. Becca Jane wrote on Facebook, Becca speaks here every once in a while. She wrote, "You cannot find freedom while holding another in chains." And again, she was talking about the same concept of love. She had quite a long post, and I thought it was super insightful. I reposted it on my page, and it really aligned with this concept of love being about giving each other freedom. She also said, as part of this quote, "We try to change people so we can love them better, but love isn't conditional on change. Love is a space. It's a frequency that we enter into and become loving. When we love us, we cannot be loving to another. So again, this is, as we're talking about monogamy, polyamory, that this concept of changing people to love them better, that when we see love as a mirror, that we recognize that in the ways the people around us trigger us, they serve as an invitation to recognize that what ours to do is not to change them. What is ours to do is not to put chains on them and tell them who they should be and how they should operate, regardless of how right we think we might be. In fact, Becca wrote a lot about self-righteousness as part of this post related to this concept of love. And I don't think she even knew, was processing that it was our theme at all. But recognizing that love isn't conditional, that it is a space, a frequency that we enter into, that we choose to engage in loving relationships with one another. And the final science of mind quote that I think I'll be using today is the physical human is in unity with all other physical and objective elements in the universe, and in unity with the invisible source from which they come. This is that other side. Love is a mirror, and we are in unity with all other physical and objective elements in the universe. We're in unity with Source at all times and always. So our explore and reflect questions, there's a few of them this week, and again, we'll be sending these out. They are in the weekly e-blast from this point forward. So if you don't take a picture or none of these stick with you, don't just pop up in your mind. Check your email on Wednesday, generally Wednesdays when the email comes out, and I invite you to explore these questions. The first of which is, how have you typically defined love in your life? Thinking beyond just romantic love. What beliefs or experiences have shaped this definition? Where do you currently feel love most strongly in your life? And conversely, where does it feel most absent or challenging to perceive? Imagine your relationship with love as a living entity. How would you describe its current state? Is it vibrant, hidden, strained, or joyful? And the mind to do practice is, what is one small conscious choice you can make each day to deepen or shift your relationship with love, allowing it to be more present in all circumstances, especially the uncomfortable one? I can tell you, for me, my small conscious choice I make each day to deepen and shift my relationship with love is a conscious spiritual practice. It is meditation in the morning, and sometimes it's a timer, sometimes it isn't, sometimes it's a walk. I really let my intuition decide what meditation looks like for me that day, but starting my day consciously in meditation has helped me deepen and shift my relationship with love throughout the day. So that's my pro tip. Y'all do y'all. All right, so visioning. So if you have never engaged in visioning before, I will say that the intention behind it is to not judge what comes up for you, not to question it, just to let it flow. Each of you has paper and Science of Mind magazines on your chair. The purpose of that is just to give you and a pen. I have some extra clipboards as well right up here. If you're like, I need a clipboard, come get you a clipboard. And there's also like some little notebooks up there too. So take what you want, take what you need. And I'm going to invite you, once you get what you need, once you get your writing supplies and materials, to have them in a place where you can reach easily. We're going to do a little meditation first before we start writing. So the purpose of the meditation is to ground us in the present, is to let go of what came before and take a moment to ground us in the present. So Anna is going to play for us, and I'm going to invite you to take a moment to put down your pens, put down your papers. If you are watching this online, feel free to get a pen and paper and engage in this with us. And I invite you to just take a moment to center, bringing our attention, our awareness to the breath. recognizing the sacred nature of the breath itself. That we don't need to think about it. We can choose to inhale and exhale, or we can just allow ourselves to be breathed. Taking a moment just to be with the breath. And as each one of us, our intuition, our inner wisdom guided us here to this practice, whether online or in person, whether live or after the fact. Our intuition guided us to this sacred community experience together by a divine appointment. And I am grateful to trust and know that whatever arises for each one of us through this visioning practice is absolutely perfect. So I'm grateful that this is an uncuffed space. That whatever shows up for each one of us gets to be uncuffed. That we get to write down whatever that is, whether it is colors, whether it is sounds, songs, whatever it is, really just letting our intuition, listening to whatever it is our intuition has to say. So in this moment, I invite you to reach for your writing utensils, reach for your pens, reach for your paper, and take a moment to listen to your inner wisdom's answer to our first question. What is Spirit's highest vision for the United Life Center for Spiritual Living? What is Spirit's highest vision for the United Life Center for Spiritual Living? And if your intuition's got more to say, let it say what it says. These questions will stay up on the screen. What must we embrace and or become for this vision to be manifest? What must we embrace and or become for this vision to manifest? Intuition still's got something to say. Keep listening, letting it ride. colors, sounds, songs, whatever comes up. And our third question is, what must we release? What must be released for this vision to manifest? What is mine to do to support the United Life Center for Spiritual Living? What is mine to do? Intuition have anything else to say about this subject or any other subject? We'll be moving forward shortly, but you'll have your papers in your hands, and we're gonna talk about this at the potluck. So if you've got to run right out after Spirit Uncuffed, feel free to hand us your vision if you like. Take a picture of it for yourself. Do whatever it is your intuition tells you is the right thing to do with this piece of paper. But I invite you to join us at our potluck afterwards, and we could talk about it and share. So I'm going to invite us to move on to the conscious giving portion of our gathering here. We have been affirming sections of the Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving address. I believe, as I just picked up Bringing Sweetgrass, I still haven't finished it. I've been reading this book for like 2 years now. And where I picked it up, the part that I was reading about the Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving address, there seems like there's a relationship with the Mohawk people, that maybe Mohawk and Haudenosaunee are either in the same region, or that was what they were called before somebody else named them the Mohawks. I'm not super sure, but I know that there is some relationship, and the Mohawk tribe uses this Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving address. So I invite you to affirm this with me today. We're honoring the plants. Now we turn toward the plants. As far as the eye can see, the plants grow, working many wonders. They sustain many life forms. With our minds gathered together, We give our thanks and look forward to seeing plant life continue for many generations to come. Now our minds are one. All right, and Mary Lee has the gold collection plate that she's going to be going around with, and invite each one of us to put our energy, whether it is the form of financial energy, whether it is some loving prayer energy, because I tithe that week. This is actually, yes, I tithe the heat, and I don't know. I'm gonna because maybe this might be my week where it's time. So if it is your time, if it is your week where you are consciously giving in the form of financial energy, the alternative ways to give beyond the form of cash money is electronically. This QR code takes you directly to the donation page on our website, and also there is a give to text option where once you set it up one time, then you're all done. All you got to do is put the number of how much you're giving. That's how I do it. Text it to the number, and then you are golden. So whatever way works for you, you do you. All right, so I've mentioned this potluck a few times because it's happening. Feel free to stick around and join us for the potluck. We meet here at the Healers Co-op. We're at 4917 North Portland. We're here on the first Sunday of every month for a potluck. Well, we're here on every Sunday, but first Sundays is when we have potluck. And Wednesdays, we are inviting the community to participate in Wednesday outreach. Canon Church leads this. Every week, it happens at 23rd and MacArthur on the east side of the parking lot, and it generally, I say 7. If you are bringing food, if you want to bring clothes, if you have something to donate, feel free to show up at around 7 at 23rd and MacArthur. And our Leadership Council meeting is happening next Sunday in the Healers Co-op, where we are. And our drag show is not in the Healers Co-op. Our drag show is going to be held at the farmers market, the downtown farmers market. And we're collaborating with Black Queer Oklahoma. Soul food plates for sale, vegan and gluten-free available. You can get your tickets following this QR code on our website, unitedlife.org, in advance for $5 or $7 at the door. And the Centers for Spiritual Living hosts something called Centers for Spiritual Living has councils for everybody. Everybody is represented. Everybody's got a voice. The ministers have a council. The practitioner has a council. And for those of you in the room who are not ministers or practitioners, y'all are members. And so this is your opportunity to meet and connect with members from all over the world, essentially. And they meet on the fourth Thursday of every month. So this QR code is the link to the Zoom meeting, and our weekly e-blast will also have the information for the Zoom link. So look out in your email if you are interested in joining this member council forum happening on Thursday, June 25th at 6 p.m. in our time zone. And we are represented on TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, that QR code underneath that will take you directly to our TikTok channel. And if you have not yet subscribed to us to YouTube, that QR code will take you to our YouTube channel. So feel free to follow us and see I made a little tiny promo video for TikTok. Mary Lee opens up with it. So Mary Lee, you should watch that one. But it's like 10 seconds. 10 seconds of your time. And I'm gonna repost it on some other things, but the TikTok will show you the stuff we got going on. All right, so now it's time for us to sing our song. I don't know how we're gonna do this with our sounds, but we're gonna figure out. So first, I'm gonna say if you're online, have the best week ever. We'll see you back here next week. I'm about to hit finish, and we're gonna do what we do, because we could just play what we play, and none of it will be copyrighted online. So see you all around the way.